All right, Dr. Danny here at Infinity Wellness Center, and want to thank Adelina for giving us an interview. And we're going to ask her a few questions and see kind of her experience here. So first off, Adelina, go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi.
Sorry.
Sorry, my name is Adelina Longoria, and I've been seeing Dr. Danny for probably about almost like a year and a half, almost two, maybe, somewhere around there. And I was just looking for a more holistic approach to dealing with some health issues, reproductive issues, digestive issues, a lot of digestive issues, and I found a great place. Dr. Danny has really helped me. You've really helped me so much get great results. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, we're glad that you found us and we were able to be part of your team. But I guess your path to seeking a doctor. So you were talked about finding us. Was there anybody you saw before? Or I guess can you? Did you see anybody in the medical profession? And then I guess some of the symptoms we were talking about. Am I mistaken, or were we working on some allergies with you as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also had like seasonal allergies and things. So this is a gamut of, seasonal allergies, digestive things, weight things as well. Just a variety of issues. And yeah, I had seen, I had my traditional doctor who's actually an osteopath. And so who I chose because she's an osteopath. So I've always gone with, more like holistic doctors who versus, traditional, which I also engaged for different things as well. But I had seen her, and just previously I moved here from Washington, D.C., where I was seeing a holistic osteopath who had helped me so much with, digestive issues as well. And I just kind of gotten to the point where I needed to restart, and I had some a reproductive procedure, to deal with fibroids, and I wanted to make sure that I took full advantage of the procedure that I'd gotten done, and I wanted to start off with a clean slate as well. And so I thought, I want to see someone who can help me sort of, think about the future as if I want to have children in the future, and how do I maintain sort of a healthy body and environment for those kinds of things.
Good. Yeah. I guess what was some of the some of that symptoms of the health triggers that originally led you to go to either the naturopath or like the osteopath, or kind of like the more natural, or even before that on like the medical side of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think what led me down that path was, I just grew up with, parents who were very much about like homeopathic remedies and herbs and things like that. And I also, I developed really bad allergies over the years, seasonal allergies. And I had just gotten to the point where I couldn't breathe anymore. I wasn't sleeping. And that's actually what triggered me to come see you, because I was going to an ENT, and they just said, oh, well, take these allergy meds, and
welcome to Austin.
Yeah, and do these nasal sprays and just all this stuff, right? And none of that was really helping long term. And I thought there has to be a better way. And I also recognized that long term using those wasn't helping me either, right? And doing like reading and so I was like, there has to be someone who can help me with this. And that's actually what led me to seek you out specifically, and then also engage with you about the reproductive stuff and about the digestive things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where the body is all connected. So you just kind of get one system working, then kind of relieve some stress off other systems, and they can start functioning a little bit better. Good.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so when coming to us, and I guess your expectations of us here at Infinity, Yeah, before you became a patient, was there anything either from you seeing us out online that you saw or social media stuff that, um, I guess, yeah, have any questions specifically about us or expectations about us coming in?
Uh, I think, I had seen that I had seen some reviews, right? Because you always look at reviews to see like what kind of reviews did they have, and I saw that you had good reviews, especially dealing with people's allergies, um, and I kind of just thought like I'm just gonna try this out. I reached just kind of my limit with not being able to sleep, not being able to breathe, and I was like, this has to be, they have decent reviews, it has to be something that's going to help me. And I'm always willing to experiment, and I had just actually gone through a series of acupuncture for reproductive health stuff, um and kind of had reached a point there where I feel like I'd reached a point where it was helping me all it could, but I needed to go and kind of potentially see someone who could give me something else, that would maybe supplements, or maybe there were other things. Um, and so yeah, that's sort of where that went.
Good. I guess, and specifically, was it Google or your Facebook or?
Oh yeah, I Googled it. I
Okay.
Google everything. Yeah, I Googled it, and then I also looked at so I looked at Google like reviews and things like that, and I'd done research, trying to find a place like you guys, and it was conveniently located near where I lived, in the south, in South Austin. Mhm.
Okay. And then even when we moved over here, we didn't move too far away from you. Huh?
You moved closer to me.
Yeah, good, good.
Yeah. So.
That's always nice.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about phases of care. So you've already kind of heard about that through the report of findings and kind of coming in as a patient. But I guess to kind of to share about some of the phases of care with everybody else out there. Yeah, tell me a little bit about your first visit and kind of what information we went over, and I guess questions you may have had then.
Yeah, I felt like the first visit was very exhaustive. Like it was detailed, there's the whole like checklist of understanding, what issues you might be dealing with, which is whether it's like allergies or headaches or like, backaches with periods. Like those are I feel like it was an exhaustive questionnaire, but then you guys also had me do the blood work, which I think was so essential for understanding where I was, and to see that's helped me see the progress even with my general doctor, as we compare the two, those findings, and can really see the changes, really seeing the changes. And my general doctor has been, was super impressed by the changes that she saw in my body when I went to my next yearly exam visit. She's like, well, how'd you make this imprint? I was like, well, I worked with a holistic doctor. So yeah, so that first visit was just, from, working on getting the blood tests, and then asking the variety of questions, and also looking at doing what you guys, your particular method of kind of assessing the sort of the different, I don't know what to call them, but just the different supplements, right? Or the different herbs or the different types of treatments that potentially could help you. I know for me, initially it was kind of like, what is going on? What is this method, of, where you show the different vials and stuff. And I just remember thinking like, I don't know how this works, but you know what? I'm going to, like I said, I'm open to experimenting. So, and it's worked. It's worked for me. Yeah.
Talking about the muscle testing, the
Yeah.
applied kinesiology. Yeah, so that's kind of checking energy, and I always say I own it. It's a little bit weird, but if I didn't see it do what it did for my granddad, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you were seeing, I guess had been, we're seeing another doctor for primary care. But I guess how did our assessment differ from, I guess, other appointments with somebody from like the medical field?
Um, it's more detailed. Like you're asking, different sorts of well-being questions about different aspects of like sort of the holistic, the body, on a regular basis. And I see you on a more regular basis, right? It's, initially I was seeing you once a month, and now it's like once every couple months. And so, where I see my general doctor when I have a problem, typically, or for my yearly exam. And so they're not always, on top of how I'm doing consistently. So I feel like you guys have a better sense of like how I've done, because I've seen you multiple times in the year. And so you're able to address, those issues that come up more readily. Mhm.
And like I said, it is part of the phases. Is kind of the beginning. You mentioned, seeing a little bit more frequently, and then spacing things out as your body heals and adjusts to kind of based on your body to how far we can get out between visits and still get results. But yeah, what I guess any unexpected insights from the process over here that weren't expecting, or I may have been unsure about, that kind of maybe shed some light on some things.
I wasn't sure about what the outcomes were going to look like, but I think to hear my doctor be so, she's like, wow, you really lowered a lot of your, the risk factors. Cause she does really in-depth testing as well. And she's like, you lowered a lot of your risk factors for like, potential heart issues, or you've gained a lot more muscle mass. And I love it because I can come to you when I come and see you. I can come to you with any problem, and you're thinking about a solution holistically. Like when I said, hey, I'm having issues with weight loss, and I remember, and stress and anxiety, right? And you're able to mesh those two things together and say, hey, you need to wake up and you need to do high intensity workouts. And that, I think, was a life changer for me in a lot of ways, because I was able to see the effect of that from an emotional standpoint, but I was also able to see like weight loss from it in the long term. And so even though sometimes I still go back into the struggle of like my eating, I now have these new tools that I've learned from you, coming to you. I have these new tools, I have these new resources that I can use to get back on track.
Good. Yeah, that's one of the things I like. Take a little time with patients and teach them, to those tools and things and little things along the way. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Hey, get up and do high intensity stuff for short periods of time, and like this kind of I'm already tired in the morning doing that. It's like that's really gonna work. But yeah, glad you're seeing some changes there. And then I guess moving over into phase two, kind of getting some space in between visits, but kind of more of the patient journey going through here. What was the root cause of some of the issues that we uncovered? And how was this different than, I guess, other diagnoses or treatments that may have been offered seeing somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, as far as root causes for allergy, I think there was I guess a variety of things, right? There was like, I had a lot of congestion. And so I was, the supplements that you gave me, both for food that were, for digestion, and also for like specific allergy reasons, both helped to counteract, to treat that. And it was a process, right? Like I definitely had to go through a process for that. But it's helped me tremendously to be able to sleep through the night and deal with the congestion for sure. As far as the stomach issues, the regimen of enzymes, and also compiled with like a diet, right? Really being mindful of the foods that I eat and things like that. All those things really helped, and I keep in mind a lot of things that you've told me over the last year and a half. about, my blood type, that was one thing that I had never thought about, how blood type is related to diet, like the foods that I should and shouldn't eat. And so being more mindful of that, it's like, hey, I shouldn't have all those carbs. Why do I desire protein so much? Because that's, part of my blood type, protein and veggies and how important that is. And so all of these, a lot of the things I think, really came down to, how I was treating my body, what I feed my body, how much movement, I get, and making it the healthiest, making my flora the healthiest, making my, the environment inside my body the healthiest.
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought up the, I guess, the gut and the allergies, and that they're not only just the environmental allergies, but like food allergies and food sensitivities, and yeah, kind of working on those together. Each one kind of help the other one. So getting like the gut biome right and getting enough acid in the stomach stops like some of the histamines and stuff coming in through the mucus when we breathe it in, and yeah, so then like the less inflammation through the GI tract, so we're digesting and absorbing better. Yeah, good. And a little bit about your treatment program. I know we talked about some testing and supplements and things like that, and you kind of hit on some diet change and high intensity exercising and anything like that. I know I've given you some homework and stuff like that to do, yeah, I guess just all that going together. Is it anything else felt like yeah, we've talked about, or I guess we've talked about on the patient side of things that we haven't really discussed here? More like homework stuff.
I'm trying to think about homework stuff. There was quite a few things that you have given me over, I think, the year and a half, like like I remember with the whole anxiety thing, it was not just waking up and doing those workouts, which I think were amazing. And I felt it just like in my attitude and emotionally. But I remember you had me do the gargle thing. Like you said, you should gargle, like that stimulates, a muscle that, that sort of calms you. And I continue to do that. I remember, and I continue to do that stuff like that, has been helpful in maintaining. I think just thinking about just a lot of things that you've educated me about, like with sugar and inflammation, and thinking about different foods that may cause inflammation or that may create more mucus in my body, or all of those things, I think are key, have been key in the treatment process for sure.
Good. And then I guess getting through, phase 2 was where we do a lot of the heavy lifting and kind of, a lot of the cleanup work. How long, and we start feeling and seeing some results in phase 1, but really in phase 2, like I said, a lot of the heavy lifting is done. How long did it feel like it took for you to feel results or kind of get through a lot of that heavy lifting stuff?
Yeah, it depends. I think once I got really serious about it, I saw results within like 3 to 6 months, with how I felt in my body and like losing weight and stuff like that. I mean, my congestion has been kind of an on and off sort of battle. That what's great is that you've helped me tweak every month when I come in, and then based on how I rate what my congestion is, you help me sort of assess like, well, what could we do different? That has been helpful too, and that you don't get in a traditional medical setting, because you don't typically go back. And if you do, there's really nothing different that's really shared other than take this other medicine, right? But for you, it's, working with you, it's like, hey, maybe increase the supplement, maybe maybe there's a different supplement, that it could potentially help you, or maybe there's something that you need to do, to change that. And so, but because I see you more frequently, we can adjust those things, right? And so, that gives you that gives me a lot of peace of mind, to know it's like, hey, I'm having this thing, but I already know that I'm going to go see Dr. Danny next month, and I'm going to address it when I when I go there. So I think for the most part, in terms of like, feeling good and feeling less like inflammation in my body, it was like within 3 to 6 months, I saw results. Like it's just this, I got, more serious about it. And then, as far as like congestion, I'm probably the best I have been, I definitely haven't lost any sleep anymore,
Good.
because of congestion. But it's definitely, it's one of those things that, I struggle with, but like right now it's probably the least I've had to, deal with.
Good. And I guess this next question is, how do you feel now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. I feel good. I think, it was interesting because in 2020, when a lot of people were, when we were in quarantine and a lot of people were gaining weight, I lost a lot of weight because of your advice, and because I was able to focus on being healthier. Um, I definitely, probably in the last 6 months since the holidays, have seen, a little bit of like backtracking a little bit, but I feel like I have the tools, and I know that I'm going to come see you, and that, we're going to get back on it, and I'm going to say, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. Like, I know the last time I saw you, I said, I'm struggling with, sweets, and you gave me, you're like, is this a really big issue? And I remember you gave me a supplement that could help me with that. So I think it's a constant thing. I love that I have access to, to you as a resource, and as someone who's gonna, I've always been someone that works well with like personal trainers or people that can keep me accountable and that help me solve problems because they're smarter at that particular thing. And so I love that that I can come to you, and I can even send you an email. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just during our meetings, but I can send you an email and say, hey, I'm struggling with this thing, or I have this question about, I remember I reached out to you about a supplement for like, acne or something. And that, that you're going to give me advice about it, you're going to give me feedback about it. So I would say, I feel good. I think that, just on a personal level, there are things that I'm currently struggling with, like that I've backtracked a little bit with, that I know that I'm going to need your help, a lot of, but I feel like I have the tools for it. There are things that you've already taught me that I just need to like, implement again.
And that's part of the process is kind of an ebb and flow, and we're human, and we're natural beings, and nothing in nature it blooms or produces fruit 100% of the year. So kind of go through these little kind of back and forth, or even kind of little plateau phases. I don't like hitting plateaus when we're trying to make gains, and if it's something we need to change. But then if it's timing or something kind of on your side, then like we can definitely slow up and be kind of more accommodating towards your life, and daily activities and things like that. But yeah, getting over into I guess phase 3, and more of a kind of supportive care or wellness phase here. What happened after I guess you started seeing some of these results? I guess, for example, moving over to a maintenance plan, or I guess I said you talked about spacing some of the visits out, or even keeping in contact on email and things like that.
Yeah. Spacing out the visit, it's good because like I said, I always know that, that, I can come to you, that that there's an appointment coming up where I'm going to be able to come to you and say, hey, I'm dealing with this thing, or, maybe something new has happened, or like, for instance, I just recently got a dog.
Okay.
And technically I'm kind of allergic to dogs, right? So, but I know that I can come to you with any of those things, or, and that you're going to have something to help me to think through, or, to implement in my life to help me with that. So, I look forward to this, sort of this phase, because I think it's not like a one time you see somebody and then now you got to figure it out on your own. It's like you have, as long as I'm willing, and I'm willing to put in the effort and I'm willing to continue seeing you, I know that I'm going to get the support that I need and that I'm going to see results.
Yeah, no, yeah, thanks for sticking with us and trusting the process. After you achieved initial goals that you came in here for during the first phase and initial visits, have you taken advantage of any of the other services here? Like there's the owner does some acupuncture. We have a massage therapist, a couple of different massage therapists. One does cupping, one does some needling and other types of fascial work and things like that.
I haven't, and I've been thinking about it because I remember one of the last times I went in, I was asking about the massage therapy and things like that, but I haven't taken advantage of that. I would like to.
Yeah, so yeah, we offer those here. So of course, if you have anybody, like I said, I think you've seen somebody for acupuncture before. So if you're already with someone in the treatment plan, don't want to mess up anything that they're doing, and continue to do good work there. But yeah, we have people here that do some needling, some acupuncture, and then massage and cupping, and kind of a whole wellness approach here. But yeah, if you were to refer Infinity Wellness Center to a friend, yeah, what would you tell them, or what would you say, or how would you go about that?
I have actually recommended you guys to a couple people, and I just say it's for me, I always say that that you guys helped me so much with my allergies, and that I definitely saw results. And that especially if you're someone that really believes in holistic and homeopathic sorts of treatments, and that it's one of the best investments that you could make, especially if you're looking at things in the long term versus unfortunately, we live in a society where people want very quick results and they want it yesterday. And so, I think that's easy, if you want to get like on a pharmaceutical sort of train, like on, traditional meds that often lead to other negative side effects. But yeah, that's what I tell friends. I always tell them, one of the best investments I ever made in my health, which I really believe is a huge investment, because if you're not healthy, then you can't achieve anything else. And so one of the best investments I've made in myself is my health. And part of that was going to see you, Dr. Danny, and having you help me with a variety of things. And I've told a lot of friends who, who have especially had issues with, weight loss and food allergies, and just tell them this is a great investment. They personally helped me a lot. And so I definitely recommend it, because I know that there's always good results that are going to come out of it. And some of the tips that you've given me, I've given to other friends to try as well.
Well, yeah, Adelina, thanks for the referrals, and yeah, for the kind words, and the time for the interview here, and
Sure.
yeah, and just for everything, just letting us be, like I said, part of your team and go through kind of your health journey here. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to say or add?
No, I think,
I think
no, I think that's it. I mean, I'm appreciative of, having found you guys, and I look forward to continue working with you.
It's been great to watch your process and see, yeah, you progress through these stages, and yeah, it's and interesting to hear that your side of kind of your side of like the perspective of things. But good. And yeah, I guess we'll wrap things up, and we'll see you here in the next couple of weeks. And if you have any questions, you can always email me.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Danny.
Yeah. And